I'm currently planning a bit a larger trip to go to Scandinavia, probably mostly Sweden and Norway. And the last time I've been there has been around 6 years ago with my friend Chris Kaula. And I wanted to go again. And in this video, I want to talk a bit about the stuff that I bring. You can see some cameras and lenses here, but I also want to talk a bit about other things like microphones, power supply, storage, protection for the cameras and so on, just to give you a brief overview, because I actually didn't book any accommodations. I have a rough plan, stopping at a friend's place and some other things, but nothing booked yet. So it will likely depend a bit how the weather is, how the animals are, that will decide in the end where I will stay for how long. In this video, just a brief overview of what I will bring with me. So you can see the most expensive stuff basically laying around here, all the camera related things. I think the lens that I will use the most will be the RF 600mm f4, just because from my experience, especially if you take pictures of smaller birds, you need a lot of focal length, and here the 600mm will come in handy. Also for the moose, I don't expect that I can get very close, and there is other animals like the musk oxen where it's really advisable to keep some distance. I also brought the 1.4, or I will bring my 1.4 and the 2x extender that I bought quite recently, just to get some more focal length in some situations. I don't plan to use, for example, the 2x extender for musk ox or moose or other big animals, but for some smaller birds I think this could work quite well. Then I will use this primarily with my Canon EOS R5 that is currently filming me. And then here we have my second EOS R5 with the RF 100 to 300mm lens. It's a bit of a special lens, but one that I really love to use, because if you can get close enough to the animal, you can really include more of the surroundings. And if it's a beautiful surrounding, like I expect to encounter in Sweden and Norway a bit, I think this could look very cool also with some maybe mist and backlit, but we will see how this will turn out. But I'm bringing this. I again can also combine it with the extenders if necessary. I think I will not bring my RF 100 to 500 or RF 100 to 400, just because I think otherwise it's too much material and I will in the end like jump back and forth from one lens to the other and miss action, and I think I will focus on these two for the telephoto lenses. Then I have some smaller things. Here we have the RF 35mm 1.8 macro. I don't expect that I can get so close to the animals to actually use that, but it's a nice lens for filming myself. I use this quite a lot. And I will also bring the RF 14 to 35 f4 for some landscape work, or maybe also filming myself if I want to include more of the environment. And finally, my third camera will be the Canon EOS R10. It's a relatively cheap APS-C body, but I will mainly use it for filming. Even though with the 35mm, this means I reach almost 60mm of focal length, but in the past, like in Costa Rica, this still worked quite well. So I'm quite confident that this will be a good combination, maybe sometimes the 14 to 35. So that's quite some equipment. So how will I store this equipment and especially transport it in the fields if I also go for hikes and so on? I decided to take two backpacks, one a bit bigger, one a bit smaller. The bigger one is the f-stop shin. The idea is that here I can fit all the stuff that I showed you before in this one backpack, plus my laptop and maybe my hard drives. And then the idea is if I stop along the way and I need to leave the car behind, I could take this backpack with all the important and valuable things in there. If I go hiking, I will probably not pack it fully, but it also means that I have enough space for some extra clothes, for some smaller things, filters, yeah, basically for that, especially extra clothes and rain protection for myself and the camera can be very important. And if I take both R5s with the 600 and 100 to 300, it takes up quite some space. So I think this is the good solution for this. However, I don't expect to always take the 100 to 300 and the 600mm f4 with me. So what I have as well is the Nia Evo, I think it's called, or Naya Evo, I'm not 100% sure about the pronunciation. It's a backpack that I am testing at the moment, and I need to say so far I really like it. It's 60 liters, so a bit smaller than my f-stop Shin, and the 60 liters count with this kind of extendable thing here on top. The good thing is, if I would take a plane, I can like strip it down, and it works in the hand luggage as a carry-on, which is quite important to me. And here I can fit the 600mm f4 with the R5 attached. And for a backpack that still fits in the hand luggage, that's quite impressive. It's very tight if you do this, but it does work, and I think for smaller tours I will probably take this one. In order to fit the R5 with the 600mm f4 attached, you need the biggest removable camera unit, RCI. It's basically the same as ICU with f-stop, and that's the XL version. I have also a bit a smaller one here, and this one here is the large, just the L. And I will actually take this one as well, but not to put it in the backpack necessarily, but rather to keep it in the car for all my other stuff that I will present you in a minute, because I think it's quite convenient. It's well protected and it's very well organized, so this will just stay in the car, and then for each excursion I do, I can just pick out the things that I need and leave the other things here. I have a lot of stuff in here. Let's go quickly through it and start with storage and power supply. So usually I use SSDs to download my pictures, edit them, edit the video, and so on. I have a slower hard drive as a backup, but primary storage is SSD. It's more reliable. Then of course I take a lot of CF Express, SD and micro SD cards, and I use them in this Freewell card reader that I got for testing. I'm overall quite happy so far. The download speeds are a bit slower than advertised. I only got a bit below 500 megabytes per second, which is still quite good and fast enough for me. And I noticed that the cards were running a bit warm sometimes, the CF Express Type B cards, but I was overall very happy. It was reliable. And the cool thing here is, first of all, it's basically a 4-in-1 card reader. You have micro SD, SD, CF Express Type A and Type B, so everything I need. And it also serves as a SD or as a card holder, so you have here slots for micro SD, for SD, CF Express Type B, CF Express Type A, and also SIM cards if you want. So that's, to be honest, quite convenient. And it has this cable built in with which you can plug it directly to your computer to download all the pictures. I will not always have power, I guess, there, and maybe I need to recharge my batteries a bit more than I would like to, especially if I'm filming. So I bought a power bank here with 20,000 milliampere hours. It has power delivery, so it should easily charge my laptop. It charges my cameras, my cell phone, GoPro and microphones, basically all the stuff that I need. For my R5 I'm also planning to bring the dedicated charger. However, for the R10 I will not, because I have 3 batteries and I don't think I will use it that much. I will then just charge it over USB-C. Some other things that I want to mention for doing my videos: I have here a Ninja Atomos 5 for recording the screen of my camera, which I sometimes like to use. I have here a DJI mic, the wireless microphone for doing my YouTube videos, and then another microphone like from Rode to put on the camera if I want to record a bit more the environmental sound. And then rather new, I bought this small light here, also for doing my videos. It can just plug on the hot shoe of the camera, and you can see I can give myself a bit of light. That's just nice if the background is a bit brighter than myself. It's relatively new. A small diffuser reflector. I was also using this for videos in the past, combined with some either some duct tape where I fix it somewhere, or some clamps where I can fix it. I have a cable release. I don't think I will need it a lot, but just in case, because I don't like to pair it with the smartphone so much. Yes, then I have some filters here, like neutral density and polarizer filter. Here I have this handy pouch also from Naya Evo that I can put on my belt, and what I usually put in here is sometimes the extender and especially spare batteries. This small blowing thing for getting rid of dust, a small microfiber cloth, just a thing that I always want to keep on me. And then I have here just a bag with some extra cables. I have my Peak Design strap, some rain cover. I have different models. This is for my 600mm f4, but I have different ones. And then some binoculars that I'm currently testing. These are 8x42. I'm quite happy with these so far. And I also attached the Peak Design system already that I can easily take this. And then this is basically empty. I have a few more things down here. And that's basically my big Gitzo tripod that I will take in case I need to do stuff from tripod. I usually try to avoid it, but maybe if I wait for a bird for a prolonged time, this could be quite interesting. I also have a smaller tripod just for filming myself if I need the big tripod at the same time. And then here from Mr. Young Gear, this lens carrier, if I want to walk around in a landscape that is, let's say, not too hilly or not too difficult to walk in, I find this quite handy that I have my hands a bit free to use the binoculars and the lens can rest in here. I will also bring some few other things like camouflage equipment. I will bring my GoPro to film some stuff along the way. I will bring my tent because I might do some camping. I will see how it evolves. I will certainly post some videos from my trip here, so just subscribe to the channel, activate the notifications if you want to get informed, and then see you in the next video.